Welcome to another Site Supervisor briefing. Greg Evans here, and with me I have the CEO of Site Supervisor, Scott. And in this session today, we're talking about personal profile. Scott, this is a little easy because, well, you're talking about yourself.
Well, that's right, Greg. The idea of the personal profile within Site Supervisor is to provide you with the ability to store documents, qualifications, information about yourself that you want to carry from site to site. So this is not project-specific stuff. It's stuff about you. Okay. And what you'll see within the personal profile is these different tabs where you can put information that relates to you. Again, not about any specific project. So just in terms of general profile information, compliance information. In this particular case, what you're seeing on the screen is related to a person who is based in it for an Australian company. If you were in the US, what you would see here would be slightly different. So, for example, superannuation is not something that is known to people in the US, but it is an Australian thing.
These colours, the orange, for example, that we see here, does that mean anything?
Yeah, absolutely. So we talk about this in some of the other parts of Site Supervisor, and we apply a consistent process from a security standpoint across the platform. If you see this orange thing, it means this is basically visible. The information encapsulated within this section is visible to your business administrators and your principal contractors. Whereas, for example, qualifications, that's information that you want to be able to share with anybody to be proud of.
What about emergency now? Is it compulsory to fill in the emergency section?
No, it's not. And it's a really good question, because you might say, well, why are we keeping this sort of information in Site Supervisor? And it is completely optional for you to put it in there. This is information, as indicated, that is visible to your business administrator. That's somebody within your business who is trusted with that delegation to be the business administrator. And it's really for peace of mind. So, for example, in this sample demonstration, Steve has a severe allergy to nuts, and Steve chooses to share that with his business administrator, and the fact that he keeps an EpiPen in his belt. So it's not about trying to pry on into personal information. It's about trying to give individuals peace of mind. But as I said, this is completely optional to enter this information.
And Scott, this little yellow dot up here with a question mark in it, what's that?
Yeah, so within Site Supervisor, and this is not just in the personal profile, but throughout the platform in places, you'll see these little yellow dots. Basically, if you click on one of those, it will launch a help video that will basically take you through and explain that section of Site Supervisor. If you become, or not if, but when you become an expert user in Site Supervisor, you can just choose to turn that off, and you can do that from here within Site Supervisor. Similarly, within your personal profile, you may elect to not receive a bunch of email notifications that the system generates by default. So you may like those, or you may want to turn them off. That's your choice.
Well, Scott, we've got your personal profile, although I'm not sure whether you're Scott or Steve, but thanks very much for joining us today. Remember, folks, if ever you want information about Site Supervisor, remember, you can ask us anything. We'll see you next time.